Howdy, Russ here. Hope everybody is well. I do got to clean the pool. There's some leaves, but you can see the dark spot is gone. Technically speaking, we still have a little bit of fence damage. I forget about that sometimes. But in general, you can't really tell we had a hurricane here. This bracket, I just had to straighten. It was all bent up, but it ripped out and you kind of need it to close it properly. So I'm gonna rig something up real quick. The last owners left us this spatula. I think I'm gonna use this middle thing, figure out a way to get some holes in it and use it as like essentially a giant washer. That's it right there. See how well this does. Moment of truth. It works. Looks better than it did. Look how beautiful Florida can be. When there's not a hurricane, the weather is pretty nice. If you don't like humidity, you won't like it here. Everyone's different. So the next time my parents come, I think we're gonna go there to that grill. I needed this. I'm guilty of getting too distracted by Facebook. I'm getting no-see-ums too. We have no-see-ums on us.
You know, there may be more than one kind of no-see-um. Look at all these little tiny things. So I have no idea of knowing which kind it is.
We are lucky. I mean, there are parts of Florida that got hit so hard with the hurricane, and then there's other parts that you're just like, okay, there's no trace of a hurricane right now. Someone told me that we don't look like beach people. They said that a while ago. I think we do. I love the beach. We are going to see Chris's dad and his family. His dad seems to be doing well for the most part, but you never know with these kind of things. He's had some scares. Comment below some good energy for him, but we're gonna go and probably be gone for Thanksgiving, but we have to change the brakes on the car, all 4 tires. Super thin.
Show them compared to the other one. That's with like almost 93,500 miles on it. So the others were Akibono. They lasted a long time. They lasted longer than I think that it says that they can last. It's just because we're good drivers, huh?
Good thing I checked because there's one that's a little different.
Each side is
Has this little clip.
okay.
Look at, I don't, not a clip, I don't know what it is, but brand new, bad. This is gonna be the tricky part because the brake pad's bigger now, and this still has to go on.
Yeah, that's why we needed that C-clamp, right? It's got to be C-clamped back
It's
in there.
gotta be clamped.
Yeah, and I don't know that we have a C-clamp big enough for it.
So now I have to figure out a way to clamp that back a little bit so that this will actually fit.
Yep. See, not near big enough. Yeah, we had so many tools, but just had to give them away. Didn't have any place to store them. But I can run real quick and get a C-clamp. Huh?
We're gonna need a clamp.
Go get a.
There's a Harbor Freight.
Oh, okay. I'll just go over to Harbor Freight then. Or is that gonna work? That might work. Cool.
One thing I learned on the rigs, you never stop working. Especially if someone's gonna go get tools, you always keep working. That was like a big thing.
That was smart. This is why I married him. Part of the reason.
We didn't wait too long. We barely had enough. I guess we waited for the right amount of time.
Yeah. Because we got almost complete usage out of this brake pad. Well, this is a great savings, us doing it ourselves. The only loss was when I ordered brake pads for the car. I ordered them online through eBay. I ordered the front brakes, which are fine, and we ordered the back brakes, and with a little search application or what have you, I didn't get the right ones. I searched only for a Crosstrek. I ended up being sent to a set of brakes that were only for Outbacks and a couple of other things. They did not fit the Crosstrek. I didn't search for Outback and Crosstrek, so you have to really be super careful and double, triple check when you order things online. And then when we got them, we started to put them on and realized, no, they really don't need to be changed yet, as it turns out. So we weren't going to waste the brake pad. And then when we finally got around to like, okay, we've driven across the country and back again, it's time we need to change the brakes. Found out those rear brake pads were the wrong types of pads. But then they wouldn't take them back because it'd been over 30 days. So now I've got to like resell those to somebody on eBay, Facebook, Marketplace, whatever, to try to get some of the money back. I should have just gone to O'Reilly's, where we got these brake pads first. They were basically the same price anyway.
You go, put that over there. Do you know where it goes?
I'm not certain.
I can show you.
I think there's little notches, right?
Yeah. One tire has brand new brake pads.
Yep, check it, make sure I put it in the right place.
Close enough, yeah. I changed the tire in Africa, remember that?
You changed two in Africa.
Two in Africa. One was for the bus driver, and we became buddies. Apparently, people don't usually help. There's something tickling my foot right there. Might just be.
At least they're not no-see-ums. Yesterday we went to the beach, and over on the bay side near the parking lot, we were getting covered with no-see-ums. Those little are mean little bloodsuckers.
2 total though.
A mosquito. But we still had
Some.
like a millimeter.
Not much.
Not much. We came close.
It's weird you filming because I'm so used to trying to do it myself too. I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm supposed to be trying to grab my camera with these dirty ass hands.
You're sweating.
It's humid.
Is that the thinnest of all of them? That's about the same.
Difference. This clip doesn't, there's no clip right there.
Shoot, did they miss a piece? Don't tell me that.
Apparently this is a wear indicator, and these new ones, they only have one wear indicator on that side, not this side.
Did you show what the indicator looked like?
Yep. That little tab right there, that middle tab, it creates a squeaking noise when the brake pad wears down to a critical level. It lets you know it's time to replace the brakes.
Give me a hold of it.
I'm glad we made it back when we did, because
It's getting dark.
Yeah, any darker would suck. Yeah, we gotta get the new tire on. Or the old tire on.
The tire. It's the only one we have.
Get the tire back on.
Get the tire on the car. This is what we ended up doing today. And really Dylan's doing it. I'm holding the phone. It's what we ended up doing today rather than go to the beach. But it's a good thing we did.
And we have to do the front eventually too. We do have those, but these were the worst ones. Should we just go ahead and do that like tomorrow?
Probably so.
'Cause this is,
You're the one doing something. I'm just
This is
flapping
just
my
gonna
my orifice here.
our car has brakes on the back.
This is something we learned, the little wire indicators, what those little things that project out from the back side of a brake is the wear indicator. So that's what we learned in this process, in addition to a few other things.
I'm gonna finish the brakes. There we go. Look at that. Compared to that, it'd be hard to do this by myself with the camera. There we go. There are good people that are left and right, and I'm sticking to that. I'm not gonna overgeneralize people. See, I had to clamp that. See if I can show you what I'm talking about. This was a little trickier, guys. Oh, there we go. That was a pain in the ass, but I got it. Go. People learn differently. There's sometimes a divide between like, well, you're not educated, so you can't speak. Just because you don't have a college degree doesn't mean you're stupid or smart. It just, you know, people learn differently. One more side. When I worked on the oil rigs, it was definitely a bunch of conservative people. Like any place, there were some good ones and some bad ones. when I went to Gambia, Africa, very Muslim country, I met some good friends, and they had some very strict gay laws. Where, I mean, they'll put you to death. I even had controversy on this channel. I talked about Gambia, a news site picked it up and tried to use it as like gay rights, I guess. They tried to be like, hey, see, gay people come here and travel. These two guys did, and referring to Chris and I. The only problem was Gambia is very anti-gay, so I had a lot of Muslims coming to the channel, or some with support, but a lot of them were wishing death upon Chris and I, and said some pretty terrible things. I'd say that was probably some of the most death threats I've ever had. I think they were serious. That was like old school YouTube though. It was like before the bots, or less bots at least. There probably were still bots. I still am not going to overgeneralize all Muslims to be bad, even though I've had death threats from some. Just saying to love everybody and to try to be kind and to not to overgeneralize a Trumper or anybody for how they voted. I didn't even say who I'd vote for personally. Just by saying that, I lost hundreds of subscribers, which I should have known. I did a poll and I asked if you would unsubscribe if I voted for Trump. And I think it was like 60 or 70% of people that were actually polled said they would unsubscribe. And then I did the same poll, but I said, would you unsubscribe if I voted for Harris? And I think it was like 79% said, no, we would not unsubscribe. You know, I'm not religious, and I respect people who are religious, but one of the coolest things, I'm still spiritual, by the way, I just don't have all the answers. But one of the coolest things about Jesus, the concept, was he was the guy that liked the people that were judged. You know, he would hang out with the prostitutes. Everybody else had a reason to cast these people out, but the concept of Jesus, he was like the hero that was just selfless and full of love for people who other people did not love. And Chris's dad, I mean, I just can't believe people are like, write off all Trumpers. It's like Chris's dad is in the hospital. He's a good guy. He's always treated Chris and I right. He's told me some stories that are very private, and me and him have bonded. I'm not gonna write him off, sorry guys. And by pushing that kind of stuff, I think you're gonna turn away a lot of people that are in the middle. There we go. This one's a little bit trickier on this side, but I got it. This one's gonna be a bitch. I already can tell. I used to say some pretty bad things, did you hear me? This one's gonna be a bitch. We used to use some weird terms on the oil rigs. We used to say, if you had to move it a little bit, you say, move it just to cut hair. That's what we said. I didn't say it was the right thing to say. I just said that's what we said. Language is kind of odd, right? It sounds weird. Let's see if I can somehow get this to work. There. Fucking. I got it, but that was a pain in the ass. Some people have special clamps. I didn't have those. I use these. All I know is I don't want to be scared to speak, but I also think there's a time to be silent because what I say isn't fully thought out. I've had a little bit of time to think, and I'm like, okay, I want to come into this with a positive mind and not be too emotionally crazy, because that's what I'm seeing a lot online right now from both the left and the right. More the left because Trump won, but I know if it was turned around, I know it would be crazy from the other side. I'm working on trying to actually be braver, to be able to share my opinion, and I'll do my best to be objective and listen to wise people from different ways of life with different points of view. When you're tightening up a tire, people say star pattern, but just skip one each time. I changed my first tire, how old was I? At least 16, but probably before then. I feel like most people can probably do it in Wyoming. Bet you my mom can do it. But also, judging people for not going to school is fucking stupid. Either way, don't judge someone for going to college. But I know for a fact, college does not make you. It does not make you a good or smart person. It can help. If you're gonna be a pilot, you need education. But let's be real. When it comes to things like music, I don't care if you're educated. If you make good music, you know, a lot of the people I listen to never went to college. And the thing with college, you gotta understand, A lot of people go to college longer than 4 years, but I mean, some people go 2 years or 4 years. It's like, you really think those 4 years are the only time in your life that you were learning? Like, some of the best businessmen, they don't learn it from school, they learn it from doing it, and it just depends on the individual. I'm not gonna say college is not good, it just depends. It depends on what your degree is too. Why do I not have a college degree? Because I learned differently, and because I chose not to get student debt. I would go to school if it was cheaper. In some regards, I was just trying to be responsible. But I liked college. I did go to the stuff I went and took the classes I could afford. We got the brakes done. I just want to say thank you for supporting us all this time. It means a lot. If you're not subscribed and you want to, feel free to subscribe. Be kind to each other. Love you all. Bye.